The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to you, the Lord.
On the first day of the week, at early dawn, the women went to the tomb, taking the spices they had prepared. And they found the stone rolled away from the tomb. But when they went in, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. While they were perplexed about this, behold, two men stood by them in dazzling apparel. And as they were frightened and bowed their faces to the ground, the men said to them, "Why do you seek the living among the dead? He is not here. He has risen. Remember how he told you, while he was still in Galilee, that the Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men and be crucified, and on the third day rise." And they remembered his words. And returning from the tomb, they told all these things to the 11 and to all the rest. Now it was Mary Magdalene and Joanna and Mary, the mother of James, and other women with them, who told these things to the apostles. But these words seemed to them an idle tale, and they did not believe them. But Peter rose and ran to the tomb. Stopping and looking in, he saw the linen clothes by themselves, and he went home marveling at what had happened. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
We've been waiting a long time for this moment. Not just for the 40 days of Lent. The earth has been waiting for this moment. The cosmos has been waiting for this moment since the foundation of the world. That's why the font is the shape that it is. Just in case you don't want to listen to the sermon and want something to think about for the next few minutes, ask yourselves this question: how many sides does the font have, and why? All will become clear in a few minutes' time. We have been waiting for this moment because history sort of paused. Some of you might be old enough, perhaps, to remember gramophones. And if you do, you might remember that they sometimes used to get stuck. You would be playing your record, and the needle would stick, and it would keep hear the same little phrase of music over and over again, and it would never make any progress until you came along. And if you were sensible, you would lift the needle and very carefully put it down a little bit further along. But what most people used to do was come along and give the gramophone a little bash on the side, and then it would carry on playing. The music would get back in its groove, as it were. I want to suggest to you that what the readings that we have heard have in common is this sense of the needle being stuck. History has got stuck. It needed someone to come along and give a little bash to the gramophone of the cosmos. Let's start at the end with Ezekiel. Ezekiel records the promise of God that he would lead the people of Israel out of exile for the sake of his own name. He would bring them into a land of promise, and he would pour clean water over them, and they would be clean. But yet, hundreds of years later, the people of Israel found themselves still in exile. Yes, possibly living in Palestine, but not sprinkled clean, not with hearts made pure, still with the stony hearts that God had promised he would turn from stone to flesh, still living in impurity and in spiritual exile. The people of Israel, many hundreds of years before that, had been led out of slavery in Egypt and brought through the Red Sea into the wilderness. Set free, yes, but free to wander, free to roam in the wilderness where they went hungry, where they went thirsty, where they were lost, where they encountered many enemies, where they longed to enter the promised land, but not yet. Let's go back to Abraham and Isaac. Abraham is told to kill Isaac, his son whom he loves, his beloved son. Instead, at God's command, he kills the ram. The tradition is that that mountain, the mountain called the Lord will provide, in Hebrew, Moriah, is none other than Mount Zion. And that ram was just the first will provide, in Hebrew, Moriah, is none other than